everything okay? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're Gucci. Hey everyone. Hi. It's been a while. Oh my goodness. I'm a little nervous. It's been a while. Mr. Spriggan. Mr. Spriggan, please. Please, Mr. Spriggan. We're busy here. We're listening to music. It's a little Spriggan friend. He wants to get cut up by my sword. Please don't get cut up by my sword. Bye, Mr. Spriggan. Alright. Well, it's been a while. I'm sure a lot of people might have forgotten what we were doing. Well, we defeated an enemy. We defeated a bunch of enemies, and we became the Khagan of these mole and everyone else in this place. It's great, pretty good. Time to go to Doma and beat the crap out of all the bad guys there. It's gonna be great. Let's do it. Oh man. Whew. Let's see. What am I doing? All right, Dust Bunny. Let's check out the Dust Bunny. It is not fully known why Spriggans hoard precious rocks and minerals, though scholars would have us believe that it is the rocks and minerals which are hoarding the Spriggans. Hence, the creatures is a scientific classification as soulkin. Between the four of us, surely we can outsmart a few rogue Spriggans. Oh man, adorable. I love Spriggans. I don't know why, but they're adorable and they're the best. So, also I kind of forgot. I should have checked. I kind of forgot if we actually talked to these people. So let's talk to them now. We might as well.
Come on, they're waiting for you, I'm sure.
The others have returned as well, it would seem. Alright, let's talk to Hien. Hien has what can be best described as a shite-eating grin. Ah, but it would be rude of me to monopolize your attention. Doubtless there are others who would speak with you. Let us go and meet Temul and Hatun. Hatun. I'm so bad. So bad at these. Han.
We won. We actually won. I mean, you did. If it were not for you...
Temulun Hatun.
Welcome, warriors of the Steppe. It is an honor to receive you once more.
We observed the battle from a distance and marked the moment of your triumph. In an instant, I wept tears of joy. Not only did you bring us victory in the Nadaam, but you ensured that every one of my kinsmen returned with their lives.
Some were more gravely wounded than others, but none were lost to us. We could not have asked for anything more. If it is not too much of an imposition, would you be willing to go and speak with them? A simple gesture for those with whom you shared the battlefield.
What? Me? Elise immediately running off. Sure, let's go. Oh yes, all the warriors. And now they're all weary. How long has it been since I last saw young men and women celebrating a hard-fought victory? Let us pray we enjoy a similar sight in Yanshan soon. Ha ha ha! The pleasure and the pain that can only come in the wake of a battle. I know it well.
Stop fidgeting and let me set the bone.
You're only making it worse for yourself. I know. Just give me a moment. Where did you learn such feats? Is everyone in the West as strong as you? Can you teach me?
Some part of me still struggles to believe it, but we won. We defeated the Oranir and the Dothoral and won. When they appeared before us, I was filled with such fear as I have never known. But then I saw you charge with Sirena and the others, and before I knew it, I was running and shouting. I will carry the memory of that moment with me always, as well as the moment when you became one with the Ovu and were declared Han. The victory pose you struck was a sight to behold. I say, would you be willing to show us again?
I guess. Here we go. /V. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. It's the phone. There we go. Yeah, I've just turned into Cloud, I guess. Nice. Yeah! Mm-hmm. Wow! Amazing! Mm-hmm. Hi, that's the stuff of legends. That's the Hun in all her splendor.
Praise be to the Hun and to the gods for guiding her to us.
Glory to the Hun and her comrades, forever and ever, 100 years, the Hun! Yay! And this poor guy on the floor just dying. Oh, Lise. Wait, was Lise over here? I didn't see her. Or if she was, they weren't letting her be. Oh, she was over here probably. I took a wound, but it will heal with time and care. The children are gathering herbs for a poultice. Had the Nadaam lasted much longer, I may not have survived. Thank you. The cocksure mole warrior.
I could hear the others cheering. What did I miss? Is there to be a feast or some other celebration?
Oh, everyone left.
I think they love you, Calosa. They really, really love you.
It is good that they can delight in such simple things as the dramatic posings of a comrade. Like the children and the father, the student and the master, all men need an ideal for which to strive. Mm-hmm.
Ah, Calosa, I am told you gave the young warriors a fine show. Grandmother and I have been discussing how we might best express our gratitude to you. Mere words did not seem sufficient.
Oh, what's this?
This is a morin queue, a traditional instrument of our people. The feats of our greatest heroes like Badam and Shacha are preserved in song. Yours too will live on for years to come. Perhaps one day you might learn how to play it. But even if not, you may look on the morin queue and remember this time, this place, as we will when we hearken to the music.
Mm-hmm. Lord Hien's eyes are filled with determination. Let's go. At the risk of sounding impatient, we have pressing obligations. It is time that we saw to them.
You are right. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Nay, do not think yourself so indebted to us. Was it not you who gave us your blessings to participate in the Nadaam, and you who saved my Lord Hien from certain death? Doma is in your debt, and will ever be a friend to the mole.
And we to you, Gosetsu. A thought occurs to me. If you wish to return to Yansha with all haste, the passage to the south of the Dusk Throne would offer the most direct route. The Dothal sealed it with their magics during the Doman Rebellion, when more men in iron came from afar.
If there was ever a time to open the pass, it is now. We should journey to Dothal Ka. But before that, might we visit the Dawn Throne? I wish to speak with our most radiant brother.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure that's a good idea? I know he agreed to fight for Doma, but I doubt he'll be very happy to see us so soon after we beat him. Mm-hmm. Nama made us for war, Lise. Ever since we came into this world, we have fought. In the Nadaam, blood was shed and lives were lost. Brown earth was stained crimson, and Xaela wept. But crimson is the dusk and the dawn, death and rebirth, an ending to mark a new beginning. We who were born are destined to die. As the seasons turn, we are born again. Thus spoke the first. So you see, we harbor no hatreds. The Nadaam is the Nadaam, and what comes after is what comes after. Mm-hmm. If you say so. The Dawn Throne first, then. Yes, and I shall accompany you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is the storm. Trees in the throes of liberty.
Nope. Dawn Throne. Whoop. Just charging in.
Just like that, eh? Not that I expected them to put up much of a fight.
There are fewer here than I remember. Maybe some of them got hurt. Whoops, sorry, Gosetsu. Let us hope we do not find our most radiant friend in a foul mood.
I found him quite intimidating before, but perhaps it will be easier this time.
Don't worry, Serena. If he tries to give any lip, I'll just punch him in the face. The sun is disinclined to entertain you at length. Speak your purpose in coming.
Humble as ever.
Should I be humble in the presence of inferiors? I am a child of Azim and you are not. Your triumph in the Nadaam does not raise you to such heights.
What happened to all the people who were in this room?
Batu will not be joining us. He was wounded in the Nadaam. His hurts are grave and he requires rest, but he will walk again in time. Though it is no business of yours, such pity does not become a Han. We are not allies, traveler, far from it. The Nadaam will come again, and with it our rule. I say again, why have you come? To bid us surrender the Dawn Throne to the Mole?
Well? Nay, the Mole are beholden to the will of the gods, and they would not have us reside here. The Oranir and Butaga may remain.
We are for Yansha, and wish to speak of your part in the coming war. Ah, the Domans and the Iron Men. I remember our pact. Sound the call and the Oranir will answer. Full glad am I to hear it. We have preparations to attend to, but we'll send for you soon.
The gods are kind. I am sure the Oranir will prove a great boon in the days to come. Girl talk, girl talk.
Of the dusk, a maiden, gentle and ethereal, a dancer in the morning mist, and a warrior besides.
Huh?
Look into my eyes, child! See you, Azim! Are you my Nama?
What? Serena? Really? I know not what you speak, Brother Magni, but I am certain you are mistaken. Quite.
Whew! Thank goodness.
We should get going right now.
Indeed! Let's let the incel live on his throne all by himself, without anyone else. Bye, loser! Ha, got him. Alright, let's ditch. We gotta talk with Sadu? Ugh. No teleportation over there, so we're gonna fly. Hey, we got a friend coming.
Hey. Thanks for coming to visit. Even if it's just for a bit, that's fine. dry wind from the desert reminds me of home.
Oh, yeah. We'll be there soon, Lise. Don't worry.
As daunting as I found it to speak with Brother Magna, it is nothing compared to the fear I feel at the thought of approaching Sadun Khtun.
Well, don't worry. I have absolutely no qualms with beating her up. The only reason I haven't just... Never mind. Yeah, that was a pretty good song. That's a pretty good theme. It's actually a theme for most, like, mounts that don't have any, that don't have a theme. But it's a really good theme regardless.
Hey, Meta! Nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Dotharl, ha! Better late than never. How long has it been since they gave Gesser to the sands? Is there aught left of him now, I wonder? Probably not much. The Han and her warriors. Greetings, my lady. We come to you on our journey south, bound for Yansha, where our comrades await us. How fare you and yours in the wake of the Nadaam?
Many were wounded, some few to the death.
Resplendent were their souls in the chaos. It was a good battle, a good day to die. Soon we will greet them again. And mayhap one who went before them also. Gesser's seed has quickened in his lover. When the child is born, we shall see who waits behind its eyes. Already we look to the next Nadaam. We must grow strong of body and mind, and your war will help us do so. Say the word, and we will fly to the field. Of that I have no doubt, for you are Dothal.
There is one more thing we would ask of you. The magics you used to seal the passage to the south, will you unmake them?
If that be your wish. When next we come together, it will be on a great battlefield against a common foe. I trust you will fight with the same fervor you demonstrated during the Nadaam. And you, Ancient One, will be the demon I know you to be. Aught less would be a disappointment. Ha 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 ha. Alright, let's do it. You got anything to say? Do not fail to call on us, Han. The Peer-eating Prince and his yellow band will not kill half as many Iron Men as we do Tharl. Let's go.
So this path leads back to Yansha, back to Doma and the others. It's so easy to forget why we're doing all of this.
I dare say that woman has never known a single regret. I envy her. I will miss this place. Though my heart belongs to Doma, the steppe and her people will always be dear to me.
I'm sure you could come back and visit sometime. Sadu Hatun has done her part. The passage will deliver you to Doma. It is here we must part ways, until the day you call us to battle.
Goodbye, Steppies! Yes, Alteron knows.
It won't be long, I know, but take care of yourself, Serena. And tell your grandmother and the others again how much we appreciate everything they did for us. Oh, I will. I nearly forgot. I have another gift for you.
The I shouldn't spoil it.
Oh, it's a red... wait! Is this the banner of the Mole tribe? It is not the most practical of gifts, but we nevertheless wish to present it to you. I do not fully understand what has befallen Doma, or your homeland, Lys, but I do understand that you and yours have suffered terribly. The Mole keep their faith in the gods, and in turn they shepherd us. They watch over and keep us. We pray they show you the same favor. As it was in the Nadaam, blood will be shed, your lands engulfed in a storm of fire and steel. Yet, as it did here, it shall mark a new beginning, there. May you ever walk in crimson, for in crimson there is life, there is liberation.
Thank you for your prayers, Serena. We shall remember them.
Until we meet again. Goodbye, Serena. Till we meet again. Goodbye! See ya! And one last wave to see her off.
Time has come for Lord Hien to return to Doma. Right then, to the House of the Fias, with me, my friends. Let's do it. And you know what? I think it's time that we went in the proper attire. Back to Yansha. Serena was never heard from again. Oh, no, don't say that. She's fine. Serena, what was it? Serena died on the way back to her home planet.
Remind me, what part of Yansha is this again?
This is the part we've never visited before. You can tell because suddenly the enemies are like 3 levels above them. Above what it was when we entered. Ah, this air that fills my breast. These sounds which resound in my ears. I am home. I have not used this road before, but I recognize this place. The House of the Fierce should lie somewhere to the south. I will go on ahead and inform the sentries of our master's return.
Hot.
Which fills my breast, yes. Prism Lake. I like this place. Whoop, I forgot this place. This isn't an actual road. But Prism Lake has different colors in each layer. So it actually looks like a little rainbow. I assume that at some point this was a road leading all the way over. And then, whoop. But it's actually over this way where we need to go. Valley of the Fallen Rainbow. Yo, Mephisto!
I didn't realize there was another entrance.
Yeah, that's because they locked it tight. They wouldn't let us in. So that we didn't go out here and get ourselves murdered by enemies 3 levels above us. Here we are. I wonder if they are all gathered inside, waiting, perhaps expecting a speech or some such. Well, no matter. I shall have to do what I shall have to do. Hi, I'm doing okay. I'm doing much better now. That's why I'm actually playing. I'm actually streaming again. I wasn't feeling well for the past few weeks. It was pretty terrible.
Brothers and sisters, pray forgive me my absence. It has been far too long.
Hey, Ian, we got some voices. Go.
Lord Hien.
Oh, you kitty. Been a while.
Gosetsu told us of your trials and tribulations on the steppe. Would that I'd been present to witness your victory, my lord.
Oh.
Our victory, Yugiri. owed as much to each of my stalwart comrades as it did to me. Now rise. I will not suffer this excess of formality any longer.
How have you been, Mephisto? You had lots of fun. You were playing, what was it, Back for Blood, I think it's called? I always forget the name.
Alfinol and Alize Levieux, I presume. I'm told we owe you much. It is a pleasure to meet you both.
The pleasure is ours, Lord Hien. Though we were born and raised a world apart, our values are one and the same. Freedom, justice, liberty. Each of which Doma shall soon enjoy once more.
Heck yeah!
Hopefully. I understand you have brought an army.
Please don't say hopefully, Alice. Be confident! Confident, Alice!
Indeed. The Xaela tribes of the Azim Steppe have pledged their military might to the cause.
Good. We, meanwhile, have secured the support of the Confederacy and a not insignificant number of your countrymen.
Woo!
The Blue Kojin, too, have expressed a willingness to join the fight, provided you agree to certain trade agreements following the liberation of Doma.
The shinobi will render what aid they can. However, Suino Sato refused to answer our call.
No matter. What forces we have amassed far exceed my original expectations. You have my thanks.
You should know that Xenos departed Doma not long after you left to find Lord Hien. We know not the reason why, but it would seem he was eager to return to Gir Abania.
Is there something there that he needs?
What? Have you heard anything from the Resistance? There hasn't been another attack, has there?
Tataru assures me they are quite well. You need not worry. If anything, this turn of events would seem to be to our advantage.
We don't have to fight him in there. You know what? After the way he trounced us, probably a good thing.
But there the good news ends. Yotsuyu retains her position as acting viceroy, and we have reports that the garrison at Doma Castle is preparing for a massive operation. We suspect that the Empire's attempt to eliminate you on the steppe may have been a prelude to a larger effort to purge the remaining pockets of resistance within Doma.
The hour of reckoning is upon us.
Oh, sorry. Then victory will soon be ours. Confidence! Let's do this!
The Khan has spoken, and I, for one, am not inclined to argue. In this place, in this moment, I call upon you all. 25 years of oppression, of tyranny, of shame. It ends with us. We will prevail.
Oh yeah! Let's do this. Ah, the Doman theme, Scion theme just kills me every time. It's so good! Ah! Not that I doubted you for a moment, but I am relieved to see you returned. Thanks, Yugiri. Once more, welcome back. It is good to see you again, Calosa. Ah, yes, there's another recent development we neglected to share with you. Alice and I have been hard at work attempting to restore the Aetheryte here to its former glory. Yay, we can teleport here now! And I am pleased to inform you that we succeeded. Suffice it to say, it should prove a boon for travel. Well, for those replete with anima like you, at least. Apparently, people can't travel as much as I can. Hey, Elise. So, have we got a plan? Tell me someone's got a plan. The plan is to punch all of the bad guys. It's easy. All is in place. We need but commit to action and see it through to the end. There's so many acronyms. Yeah, we were talking about Back for Blood, B4B, and so then and then I was like, okay, so it was supposed to be like Left for Dead, L4D, and it's like there's so many acronyms that My favorite is when like acronyms start like bleeding into each other. There would be times when I'd say an acronym for a game, and someone would be like, "Oh, are you talking about this other game that has the exact same acronym?" And it's like, gosh darn it.
I imagine you are eager to hear the particulars of our plan. Allow me a moment to gather everyone's attention.
Lise was just asking about that. Oh, there we go. Animal Crossing and Assassin's Creed are both AC.
If all are in agreement, I will outline my plan to retake Doma Castle.
Let's do it!
First, Lise and the Doman Irregulars will conduct a series of raids against Imperial targets throughout the surrounding area, with the aim of drawing the garrison's attention. Shortly thereafter, our Xaela allies will launch a surprise attack on the castle's airborne defenses. In this way, we will prevent the enemy's airships from rendering support and cut off one means of escape.
Alright, because the Xaela all have the flying Yule.
Alize and I, together with the Shinobi, will exploit the ensuing chaos to infiltrate the moon gates and disable the Magitech field generators. Once the barrier is down, we will be free to cross the One River and reach Doma Castle. It is at this point that we must turn to our Confederate and Khagan allies.
So now the pirates and the turtles can come in now that the barrier's down.
They will commence to bombard the castle with cannon fire while sailing west towards the Doman Enclave.
Wait, the Enclave? Why would you want them to sail away from the castle?
Because the Enclave is home to countless civilians. Once pressed, the Imperials may well think to take them hostage, and I would fain forestall any such attempt.
So grab their attention for a moment, but then make sure to get away and find some people to protect.
After we have secured the Enclave, we may lay siege to Doma Castle directly. The main strength of the Doman Liberation Front, under Lord Hien's command, shall be committed to this endeavor, as will you and your redoubtable allies.
Let's do this!
The rest is simple. We scour the castle for the Viceroy, we find her, and we subdue her. Without their leader, what remains of the Imperials' morale will crumble, and they will surrender or attempt to flee. And Doma will be free. Your thoughts, Lord Hien? If any points were unclear or gave you cause for concern, I should be glad to go over them with you.
Maybe he has some of his own ideas. Go on, Princeling.
Nay, 'tis a fine plan. You have a talent for this. That much is plain.
Yeah, that's kind of his shtick.
We shall carry out Alphino's plan to the letter. Time is of the essence, as you know, so let us each see to our respective preparations. Carry on.
Heck yeah. Elvie! Elvie! Nothing much. I missed you a whole lot. In fact, I kind of assumed you were like on a trip, like a week trip with your family, like a week-long trip, but I was like super worried, like, oh no, what if Elvie got sick? Oh no. I was sending you like small messages like, hey Elvie, hope you're having fun, love you lots. Oh, yeah, well, I did not specifically talk to Alteron about how much he was worried about them too, but we were worried about them. I'm glad, Elvie. I heard you were playing, what was it, Guild Wars? Guild Wars 2 with Alex Galgin, Rixius. Oh my gosh, they have too many names. There is no shortage of tasks which must needs be completed before we can launch our attack. If you have a moment, perhaps you could lend a hand. That said, I have only just returned. It would be better for you to speak with Alphino and find out how you might be of service. Sounds like a plan. Oh, I remember this. It's a little side thing to get ourselves prepped. Kind of bugs me, but it's good. It's good, plot-wise. Spriggan, get off the table!
Trying to keep busy. Full glad am I to hear it. There is one task which comes to mind. As I explained during my briefing, Calosa and I will need to infiltrate the moon gates to disable the Magitech field generators. Though I pride myself on my knowledge of various subjects, I must confess I lack confidence in my knowledge of this particular one, which is why I turned to an expert. I have been conversing with Sid via Tataru, attempting to ascertain the design of the generators based on our limited intelligence. Most recently, he sent a parcel with some documents which he believes may be of use. I would like for you to go to Khagan and bring them back here.
Oh no, not this part. No!
In the meantime, I will continue to work with our shinobi allies to plot a path to the gates. Safe travels, Calosa, and thank you again.
Spriggan begging for food. Yeah, Spriggan has rocks for food. Weren't any rocks on that table. Actually, were there? Let's go check. The cups aren't rocks, I don't think. Although that does make me wonder, because these jars are made of more earthen things. So maybe, but it wasn't rocks or gems. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's get out of here. Oh, there aren't any rocks there anymore, because the Spriggan grabbed and ate all of them. You know what? Temple tap. I'll take it. That's the new canon. Actually, I should have just teleported, but oh well. Let's take a nice walk through here. It's been a while. Man, it's been a while. We haven't played it so long. Jeez. I miss this. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Let's go. Yes, we're going into the Ruby Bazaar office to speak with Tataru. Yo, Hancock, what's up? Well, 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 what a pleasant surprise this is.
Calosa, what are you doing here? I thought you were all fighting nomads at the Azim Steppe.
We just finished that.
Oh, you beat them. Good show. Shame I didn't get to see it. Alphino has been keeping me apprised of the situation in Doma. I may not be any good in a physical fight, but in an, paperwork fight, I'm the true Han. Yeah!
Exactly, Tataru. I love you so much. Oh my gosh, look at you and your kimono! Ah! Look at this cutie. She's even got Sakura earrings. This is the cutest girl ever. Oh, I can't handle it. Alright, let's keep going. Tataru is the cutest ever, and I love her kimono and her earrings and her hair, and yet the Alteron and Calosa are just both immediately. We weren't even...
You're here for the parcel Sid sent, right? Wait a moment, it'll be right out.
What?
Go, Hancock.
Get it. I love how she just stares at him like, you go.
It arrived not long ago. A porter delivered it to our offices along with various other knickknacks from Eorzea. Sid regrets that he couldn't come here in person. Apparently his hunt for the dragon and Omega demands his full attention, you see.
Oh, you know, that makes sense.
Still, he was reasonably confident that the documents he provided would be enough for Alphino to do the work himself. So as soon as the parcel gets here, we can open it up and see what's inside.
Pardon my interruption, but the parcel in question, was it the one you placed on the shelf in the back for safekeeping?
I believe so, yes. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, on closer inspection, said parcel appears to have been addressed to the Sekisei Gumi Barracks.
though it does indeed bulge with a quantity of paper reminiscent of a rather large instruction manual. The lingering scent of lilac leads me to conclude it is in fact a sizable collection of love letters. What? Impossible! That porter was carrying a parcel addressed to us. I saw the writing with my own eyes.
Oh, I do not doubt that in the least. However, as he was tasked with a number of deliveries, I can only presume that he handed you another parcel by mistake.
This is a disaster! We have to find that porter right this instant! Tataru!
My, she can move quickly when she has a mind to. So quickly she neglected to take the love letters with her. They too must be redirected to the rightful recipient.
Sounds like that's my job.
They should also aid you in tracking down the right porter. They keep records of their deliveries and so forth, after all. The man in question was a middling height and build, not unlike myself. Black hair, short, terribly helpful in Khagan, I know. A cheery sort, wearing bright colors as I recall. I will send a few of my men out to search, but in the meantime, why don't you take the parcel and see if you can't track him down yourself? I will wait here on the off chance he realizes his mistake and returns. I love Tataru. Woo! Where are we going again? If I recall, it is near, yeah, the Rakusa district. Rakusa. Now, see, this circle implies he's somewhere over here. It is wrong. It is actually in this alleyway. Don't let it fool you. There he is. Hey, peer, 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 peer. Hello, overworked porter. Good morning to you, miss, but I have no time to chat. I have to head to the Bokaido. Or was it a hostelry? Bah! No time! No time! Actually, there is time. A letter is perhaps a charitable description, as the weight of this parcel rather suggests a lengthy treatise on why certain Seikisei-gumi ought to accept the undying affection of a certain admirer. Alex! Oh, I recognize that parcel. I delivered it to the Ruby Bazaar not long ago. What of it? It's the wrong parcel. A mistake? For the Seikisei-gumi, you say? Bah, you're right. How stupid of me. Fortunately, I have yet to visit the barracks. This is for you, yes? I will take the other in exchange. Man, this isn't Japan. In Japan, if he made a mistake, he would be like saying like 1,000 million. Sorry, I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. Please don't tell this to my boss. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. Ah, sorry. Like that. Basically, exactly like that. Yo, Tataru, we got it! I'm sorry, I couldn't find him. I guess we just have to hope he realizes his mistake and returns soon. It's okay, Tataru. I already found it. Though this parcel weighs no less than the other, it lacks the scent of lilac, and is therefore much less likely to contain someone's misdirected woo. Thank goodness Lucid doesn't scent his parcels with lilac. That's it, that's the parcel! You found him! Though, knowing our luck, Sid put the wrong papers in here. Nope, this is it! These are the documents detailing the operation of Magitech field generators Alphino requested. Thank you very much. Misdirected woo. I do like just it's the little things in this translation that are really fun. I can only imagine what would have happened had we sent Calosa back to Doma with a parcel full of love letters. The look on Alphino's face when he reads the first page. On second thought, I'm a little disappointed we didn't. Yeah, I just give him a love letter. What? A love letter from Sid? Whoa! Everyone's working so hard to fight for Doma's freedom, and here I am making the same silly mistakes. It won't happen again, Calosa, and I'll keep working hard to bring you and the others useful information. If we hear anything new, we'll contact you straight away. Oh, and you may be pleased to hear that we have brokered an arrangement between the company and the Confederacy. They require armaments we provide, discreetly and at a reasonable price.
I'm sure Lord Lolorito was pleased to hear it.
Ha! Indeed he was, indeed he was.
Ah!
Arms merchants!
Well, it seems our time together is at an end. Give Alphino and Alice my regards, will you?
The likelihood of Sid putting the wrong paper seems pretty high regardless of our luck. Given Sid's pretty good about it, but like, you know, yeah, sometimes he's a little busy. And you know Jesse is always running him ragged. Misdirected Woo is a great row name! Someone make a Rogadin named Misdirected Woo, please! I beg! This is imperative! Where are we going again? We are going to Yansha, House of the Fierce. Oh man, Misdirected Woo. I'm sorry, I already have Serene Moon, which is kind of rhymes, so I'm gonna stick with it. Sorry, Alfie, I was too far away.
Oh, it seems like just yesterday you were here. Our plans proceed apace. Do you have the documents?
Yesterday? It was like an hour, Alphino. I can teleport. I love this. Never want to take undue risks. It would seem Sid thought it best to send Alphino a massive manual detailing the operation of a Magitech field generator to ensure that the boy was prepared for every eventuality, or possibly to see if he would read the entire thing or simply give up and whack the generator with a wrench, which works 9 times out of 10 anyway.
Excellent. This looks to be exactly what we need. Assuming our shinobi escort can see us safely inside the moon gates, I should have no trouble deactivating the barrier. Good, good. That's one less thing to worry about.
Indeed. How Tataru got her groove back. If you seek further employment, Alphino can point you in the right direction. This is the part that bugs me. It feels a little much, but sure. Should you wish for further employment, mayhap you could speak with Alice, eh? I believe she was planning to search the surrounding area for Imperial patrols. If you go now, you may be able to catch her before she departs. Do I throw out Hyper Cosmic Fate Bagel for Misdirected Woo? Oof, that is difficult. It's a difficult choice. Part of me doubts Sid read the whole thing himself. If the percussive maintenance works 9 times out of 10. You know what? Sid is the kind of... He's like the genius, though. He would just be able to look at a thing and immediately be able to figure out how it works. So, I don't know if he reads instruction manuals when he just doesn't need it.
Alphino told you about my plans, and you wish to come with me? Well, far be it from me to refuse you. Truth be told, I'm not entirely sure what I expect to find. In the wake of your failed assassination attempt, the Imperials demonstrated uncharacteristic restraint. There were no public executions, and not a single village was put to the torch. But as I mentioned earlier, our latest intelligence does suggest a purge is imminent. For all we know, they could be out in the field even as we speak, surveilling their targets and making plans.
Oh, I forgot, there's this part first. There are 3 parts that we're doing. This is a much better thing. The third part. Wow, there is a lot that comes with before the actual thing. I forgot. I forgot how long it takes to actually get to the liberation part.
If so, we need to put a stop to it. Let us begin our search to the north.
Have you seen how he treats Magitech armor? He hasn't read a manual in years. That's true. It takes so long to actually do anything. Oh yeah, I forgot I can ride this bear without getting an upskirt shot. Yeah! That's the best thing about being a ninja. Yo, Alice, did you find anything?
This is the place. Do you see anything or anyone of note?
Let me check. Search. Interaction.
All quiet, for now. Follow me to the next destination. What? What? Is there just a regular thing? Like, are there just multiple locations you're supposed to search? Whatever. Anything here? This is the second point I marked on my map. Eagle eyes! Ooh. Nope. No Imperial patrols near our headquarters then. Good. The last thing we need is a repeat of Ralger's Reach. Oh jeez, don't remind me. Even so, 'twould be prudent to search a little longer. Not a bad idea. Again? 2 times in a row. Doesn't matter how many times. Wow! Jeez, Alice, what the crap? Not exactly the enemy I was worried about. Damn it all. I just can't leave the caucus lying in the middle of the road. You've gotten stronger, Alice. You beat it all by yourself. Next to you, I feel like a child playing at swords and sorcery, though mayhap it suits me better than books. I owe much to a Mikote I met on my travels. He was a master of these techniques and kindly agreed to teach me the fundamentals. But I never could warm to common rapiers. I vastly preferred using a blade of my own creation, despite the toll it took on me. Urianche's gift was a god's ascent, to be honest. Anyway, we're falling behind. We should split up and try to recoup some lost time. We've heard rumors of Imperial soldiers skulking about, disguised as villagers. One was supposedly spotted near the ribbons, to the south of here. Go and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Actually, it's to the southeast. Ugh. Yay! Red Mage Dad! Zrune! That's it. His name is Zrune. And he's also the Red Mage mentor. If you do the Red Mage things, you'll meet him. But he's also a Tia. He's also a sun cat. So like, sorry, just like he immediately went from a 10 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. Knocked off 2 points for sun cat. Sorry. Oh, hello there, young lady. My associates and I are in search of fertile soil for farming. And this land caught our eye. Yeah, says the guys in a bunch of samurai outfits with swords. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Press X to doubt. You doubt my words? You suspect we have some other purpose in coming here? How vexing it is to be questioned in this manner. Very well, she desires the truth and she shall have it. Deal with her! What the? What the crap? Javelin! Get out of here. Good job, Javelin. Good girl. Yeah, it is pretty good that, like, it's made mention that, like, oh, this was the mentor, the same guy. I do like that, there's another character who gains a different class, and you learn from this mentor, but then, like, he mentions, oh, I had a best friend who is probably also wandering somewhere else. I wonder what became of him. And it's like, he was training other guy. Temple Tap. Yeah, it's pretty great. I saw them attack you while this one fled. Since you seem to have everything in hand, I decided to capture him. An Imperial, I presume. Mm-hmm. I knew it would come to this, but at the hands of a Westerner, a Doman would at least know the rights. You think you understand, but you do not. She will burn it all before she surrenders. She will never kneel again. Nor should she. What? What? What are you talking about?
Ah! Oh no. Calosa! This is him. Much younger. Rest assured, the Naeuri will receive due compensation. Young Asahi has great potential, that much is plain. If he applies himself, he will one day be granted the opportunity to go to Golemald and learn from some of the leading authorities in the field of magitech. Few citizens are afforded such treatment, however, much less people of the provinces. You will need to do more. Oh, of course. I have no doubt that we shall. My husband and I want only the best imperial education for our boy.
I finished planting the rice, Mother.
Ugh. Not what the officer is here, Yotsuyu. Inside, now!
Yes, Mother.
You did not mention that you had a daughter. My sister's, not mine. Kami rest her soul. She is utterly hopeless, but one cannot choose one's family. Asahi looking like a smug little bit. Indeed, she is of age to receive an education as well, is she not? Yet we have no records. I trust I need not remind you of your legal obligations. No, of course not. But she is weak and sickly. Some days she has not the strength to leave her bed. Though a thought occurs to me. Mayhap we can come to an understanding. Huh? Ha! Good job, Alice. Yeah, Alex was just pointing out, I love that someone actually tried to take advantage of the echo. I was in the middle of the echo, and this guy was ready to knock my lights out. Thank goodness for Alice. That was a near thing. What happened? We were talking, and all of a sudden, you were somewhere else. Did one of those soldiers hit you on the head or something? No, it was the echo. Well, if you say so, we shall go and tell the others what happened here. I love how he's just rain. Have fun being on the ground in the rain, loser. What happened? We just leave him there. Have fun being dead, loser. Got him. Oh wait. There's the entrance. Okay. But then you can fly down this way if you want. You can fly, you just go choo! Thank you. You didn't have to come with me, but you did, and for that I am grateful. I told the others of our encounter with the disguised soldiers. Though we disposed of the bodies, it was only a matter of time before their comrades note their absence. As if we needed any more reason to act quickly. Are you sure you're all right, by the way? You've been acting awfully quiet since we returned. If you still want for work, Alice has a suggestion. I tell you to rest and leave the rest to the others, but seeing as how that isn't in your nature. Lise returned but a moment ago, looking a bit worried. It would seem that trouble is afoot in Amai. Here it is! This is the part. It's like, we've done 1, 2, and like, yeah, things come in threes, but like, I was getting like, I want to kill the people, I want to go into the thing. Nope, one more thing. You may as well go and ask her about it. As for me, I will not impose upon you any further. And in fact, I'm just gonna disappear, so you can't even ask yourself to impose any further, or you can, like, can't even let you impose on me. What's up, Lise?
We've barely got enough armor as it is, huh? What's going on, Lise? You have some trouble? Oh, you're here to help. That's a relief. I've been trying to help the villagers in Namai get ready for the operation, but we've run into a few problems. You remember how we're supposed to stir up trouble as a diversion, right? Well, the thing is, we don't have enough armor to go around. I thought the Doman Liberation Front would be able to furnish us with some, but it seems that's not the case. I was about to go and tell Ise. Why don't you come too?
Oh, at least I can teleport. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, I missed Alteron. Inconvenient migraine. Go! That is basically Echo every time. Yo, you say? Oh, you're here too. I heard about the soldiers you and Alice encountered. I'm glad you're all right. Right then.
Ise, we've gathered up all the rope we could find in the village.
And every tool with an edge, but it is still not enough. Even a hole would suffice, but there are no more to spare. Thank you, Chigusa. Ryosen could use a hand if there is nothing else. Wow, look at this kid being a new leader. As for more tools, I may have some in my home. Go and search it. Take whatever meets your needs. Look at you.
I made enough rice balls for everyone, including some special ones for Lady Yukiri. Can I go and give them to her?
You silly girl, of course you can. Hurry. You may never know when she'll have to leave on a secret mission.
See you around!
Sorry about that. Everyone's been trying to contribute since Lord Hien returned. There's so much to worry about.
You're doing well, Ise. Though I have to ask, have you had any luck finding more armor?
Unfortunately, no. Unlike weapons, there are no substitutes for proper protection. It is not as though we need full suits of Imperial plate, but we are not soldiers. If we attack without any equipment, we'll be slaughtered.
The Doman Liberation Front doesn't have any armor to spare. I suppose we could ask Hancock, but there's no telling how long it would take for him to send us supplies. Do you have an armorer in the village, or anyone with some skill to fashion armor?
There is one man, a craftsman who fled the Enclave. He is experienced and may be able to help. I don't know if I can persuade him to, though. But maybe you two could come with me. His name is... Oh god, I can never say his name. Tsuranuki. Tsuranuki. His name is Tsuranuki, and he lives in Kusakari in the south. Come with me. Yeah, usually people just wait for your echo to happen. Like, usually you're just kind of sitting there and it's like, oh, echo, and then it's like, hey, you were using the echo just now, weren't you? And it's like, we just waited 7 years for you to get your echo thing going on. And it's just like, okay, thanks for not killing me, question mark. It's really silly. This is Tsuranuki.
There's something odd about this man.
What, aside from the fact that he's super bald? You got a problem with bald guys? Bah! Who are these starry-eyed youths who stand before me? Ones who think of rebellion, of liberation? Ah! Surely they would not think to trouble me with such foolish dreams. Go and say what you will, but do not take offense if I die from laughter. Blah! Ha ha! Wow, okay, never mind, I see what you mean, Lise. bald. He's a Tsudanuki, not a Tanuki. Please, be nice. People just want to show off that they know you have the echo. That's true, LV. And especially it's like, what's his name? What's his name? Gaius is like, I know you have the echo because I've studied up on the power of the echo. Yeah. Then again, you would have me fashion some armor for villagers who wish to fight Imperial regulars. Bah! Mad fools charging blindly to meet their deaths. Bring me steel and I shall give them shells to shield their soft bellies. Yes, yes, plates of steel, all that you can carry. The better to shield them from blade and bullet. If only it were so simple, Master Tsudanuki. Steel plates are not so easily procured. Blind, deaf, and dumb you are, boy! We are awash in broken steel. Magitech, great cylinders come crashing to the earth from on high. Shatter them to bits with my explosives. They will not fail you, for I have made them to kill Imperials. Heh! Bring me my steel and you'll have your armor. Well, it's not like we know any other armorers who can help. At least we get to blow things up. That's just Lisa's. Lisa's like, yes, time to blow everything up. I'm with Elise. Yeah, at least we get to blow some stuff up. And yeah, if he was a Tanuki, he would actually have hair. Aw, got him. Got him! Abandoned Magitech. Use makeshift bombs on the abandoned Magitech. And blow it up. Nice. And then get the plating. And we have to do this 3 times. And I think the last one has like 5 armor platings that you have to pick up. And it's like, yeah, see? Look at how long it takes, because this is like a big one. So it's like, you're like lifting it up and you're just like, yay. So how are you guys today? Da-da-da-da-da-da. And now we gotta go to the next one. Careful of the hunt mark. I remember when Dad first saw that enemy, he was like, huh? It really is a great enemy to just go, what the crap. Only if you've played Final Fantasy VI is it not a huge surprise. The things we do for rebellions. But yeah, this whole thing of like, this part was when I was like a little bit like, I just want to get on with the story. It does get a little better in that he explains like, oh, this is so much better about us knowing more about the world and blah blah blah. It's some good lore stuff, so I'm gonna let it go. But like, I've said I'll say when I think things get a little too much. Oh, okay. For some reason I thought it was 3 explosives, but only 2. Much better than I said it was. So, there you go. I'll admit when things are getting a little slow and repetitive and boring, and when a lot of people just want to kill the enemies and fight the stuff and get on with it. I get it. I get it. You have many plates of steel, I demanded. Show me! Scavenged from broken Magitech wrecks, this metal could be repurposed as armor for villagers. There you go. Ah! Then you are committed to your cause, dressing villagers as soldiers and marching off to war. Stupid, stupid fools! Doma is dead and so are her people. Lord Khagan, Lord Hien, all dead! Their blood is on our hands. What are you talking about? Hien's alive! 'Twas Lord Khagan who saved us, who spared us the worst when the Garleans came. Every shred of pride and honor he cast aside without a second thought, all to win their trust, all to serve as their puppet, restored to his throne years later, a paper tiger. Such shame he must have felt, but no matter, he would suffer it for his people. A life as slaves is better than none at all, he believed, but not us. After my lady died, we began to whisper into his ears dreams of freedom and liberation. We pushed him to take action, if only a little. 10 years of preparation, of machinations, so careful we would be, and yet, Doma burned for our foolishness, not for that of Lord Khagan, Monsen, the Enclave. They were raised for our sins. We murdered them all, don't you see? We murdered you all!
You're wrong, Master. We are still here. We are still alive. Lord Khagan lives too. He lives in our hearts and in his son, for Lord Hien has returned.
Lord Hien! Alive! It cannot be! You lie! You lie!
It's true! It's the truth! Hien came back to Doma to help her fight for freedom!
Could it be? My Lord Hien yet lives! Oh! Oh! Bands of steel to bind the chest and belly. Yes, yes! I must heat the forge and begin work at once. 10, 100? How many do you need? All that and more you shall have.
All right! Yay!
Yeah, Cyan's name, it was Khagan. That, in fact, a lot of people, like, if you get, like, oh, this is the true translation, like the ones that name Sabin Mash and stuff, which is absolutely stupid. His name is Matt. Gosh, you guys. Anyway, yeah, they'll call him Cayenne Pepper, like Cayenne, Cayenne Pepper. And so, yeah, that everyone's like, that's his real name, so, yeah. But yeah, so and remember, if I pointed it out, Gosetsu was reminiscing, and he called Hien by his, like, child name, and it was Shun, which is the name of Cyan's son, like, in Japanese. His name was Shun. So there you go! Da-da-da-da-da-dun! Yeah, so Hien is literally 100% an alternate universe version of Cyan's the son who survived. Because Kefka didn't poison Doma in this. There you go. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Even after 25 years of oppression, they still have it in them to stand up and fight. We just have to show them the way forward. Issei and I will stay and help Tsurunuki finish the armor, so you've no need to wait around. Why not go back to the House of the Fierce? I'm sure there's plenty of work left to be done. Ask about and see what you can find.
Heading to... what was it? The House of the Fierce. The more you know. Thanks, Meta. Thanks for pointing that out again. Because, as I said, it's been a long while, so maybe people forgot. Anyway, do you need anything, Kaidate? Everything is in mold, miss. Under Lord Gosetsu's sage tutelage, we grow stronger by the day. Good. Glad to hear it. How about Motojiro? Help! Help! Oh, no, I would not impose you without cause. Rest assured that everything is in its place, and everything is fine. Okay. Hello, Haname.
I require no assistance, comrade. Lord Hien's instructions to me were quite clear. I need only transcribe them for the benefit of our Xaela allies. Speaking of Lord Hien, if you are eager to be of service, mayhap you could seek him out. Keep an eye on him, perchance, should he decide to venture outside.
Oh, Hien. Are you gonna do... Yeah, now it's time for me to be the bodyguard. Yeah. Anyone who tries to get to Hien has to go through me. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, Hien, what's up? Let me guess. Someone asked you to act as my protector? Ha! To hear them mutter, one would think I intend to stride up to the castle gates on my own. The truth, of course, is rather less dramatic. I had hoped to look on the castle one last time before the battle. Would you care to join me? You would be setting a lot of fretful minds at rest. Very good. Then let us depart from Monsen at once. Oh, we were talking about how this stuff tends to feel like it's dragging on because there's like four or five different cultures that it's trying to teach you about. And yeah, I mean, we had, what was it? We had Suino Sato, we had the Kojin, we had technically the Confederacy, but I do stick them in with Doma. What else did we have? We had the Xaela, so that's already 4. It not counting the Confederacy. And then yeah, and now we're also working on the Garlemald culture, in the fact that like how they got more people to join their ranks and became more like, you know, became part of them through work. Yeah, I mean, what was it? The guy like, hey, let's help your little Asahi become a member, and then like gosh, I'm forgetting the name of the characters back in Alamigo. Not the crows or something. Were they a bird name? I forget. Monzen was home to many great and powerful families. Men of honor, samurai, once. Great swaths were raised, and people put to the sword. What little remains stands as a testament to what it was, and what will never be again. Come, I would take a closer look. Aw, jeez, do I gotta kill all these people? Nah, Hien's pretty good at keeping to the shadows. Have fun being dead! Dead! Oh, I see that one trying to attack me. No sentries, at least of the living sort. Those shambling suits of armor have the run of the place. To think this was once a bustling street, so full of life, a river of people with a current all its own. But even then the Imperials walked among us, sometimes openly, sometimes discreetly, but we were always aware of their presence, and we were complicit. He did what he had to preserve the peace, to keep our people safe, but at what cost? But forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for such dark musings, though they did serve to remind me of the barracks which once stood to the west of here, where there may yet be weapons our comrades could use. If you head down that street, past those makeshift barricades, you will come to the ruins. I will search elsewhere. Meet me at the water's edge when you are finished. The skulls for Dola's group. Yeah, the skulls show off a little bit of like what people wanted to do in order to like help like become part of the Garlemald, because you wanted to be like them so that you wouldn't be hated anymore. That's the best way to change, is to be the best. Found a katana. Found in the ruins of Monzen, this finely crafted blade shows little signs of use. Oh, that's good. It's almost new. Gosh, is it still raining? It's hard to see. Yeah, this is great. Definitely can see the palace from here. Oh well. Alas, I found not of value. Did you? I found 1 katana. Better than nothing. Still sheathed in its scabbard. Though even shielded from the elements, it will need to be cleaned and oiled. I recognize the crest. It belonged to the son of a samurai I trained with when I was young. He never even had a chance to draw it. There she is, Doma Castle, my home. They let us keep her for a time, before gradually moving their forces across from Fluminus. Now every court and corridor belongs to Yotsuyu. Though father spent much of his time there, I did not. I may have only visited him there on half a dozen occasions, if that. I cannot remember. But I remember the view from the keep. Doma seemed much smaller from there, like you could hold it in your hands. Well, Monzen at least. Doma is so much more than that. There, beyond the moon gates, unto the shores of the Ruby Sea, and there, in the places that no man can see or touch, or take from you. We carry you with us, wheresoever we go. Not the land or the soil, but the story. And what is life is not a story. The story of our journey from dawn to dusk, day after day after day. The story of our mothers and our fathers, our families and our friends, our peoples and our nations. I think a part of me understood that when I looked out from the keep. Hien, son of Khagan, another caretaker of the story of Doma. It is a fine castle, truly, with an even finer view, but in the end... In the end... Kami, strike me down! How could I be so blind? We must return to the House of the Fierce at once! I have had what can only be described as a revelation. Ours is an excellent plan, but not so excellent that it cannot be improved, and I know how. This is the moment when Hien truly becomes a character. I love this turning point for him. It's so good. Hien understands what he must do for Doma. On second thought, Calosa, I ask that you return to the House of the Fierce without me, and tell Alphino to call the others together for a meeting. It is imperative that the Khagan emissary be in attendance as well. I shall join you anon. Okay, sir, okay. This was definitely when he stopped to seeming like some stock honor-bound samurai. It really is good. And I've said before, even if I don't especially enjoy a character, I really love how much this game, the people, the writers, make them seem like characters. I don't think I can say there is even one character who is a stock, what would you call it? Just nothing but just a joke or anything. I mean, maybe Sadu, but even then, there's still the slight nuance of I'm taking care of my people. Just because our people act like this doesn't mean that I don't have some sort of commitment to them, blah, 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 blah. That turtle is the best turtle. It makes everyone super dizzy, but Calosa ain't care. She don't care. She's the best. Lord Hien wishes to discuss the details of our plan. Very well, if he insists. I shall summon the others at once. As for the Khagan, I believe one of their emissaries was already en route. Nevertheless, I shall contact them to make certain. What was it? Alteron and Alex are giving good takes. Sorry, I forgot to mention who was saying what.
May I present the Blue Khagan's emissary?
Oh, thank God I can drink some water. Talk, you jerks.
Greetings and well met, old friends. The Elder sends his regards.
Soroban!
Soroban, it's good to have you with us.
Oh man, they were gonna high five.
If you might humor me. Thank you for coming, Soroban. Doubtless you have already been informed of our plans and the role we would have your people play. However, I seek your counsel as a Khagan of the Blue.
Oh, my pen comment was when Hien said he never had the chance to draw it. Oh, the pen was mightier than the sword. He couldn't find a pen and he couldn't draw the sword. Get out, Alteron. Get out.
Be it by spell or siegecraft, could your forces destroy the underwater foundations of Doma Castle's outer wall?
Wait, what? The twins? What the?
Explosives coupled with a few incantations. Yes, that might produce sufficient force. such a thing could indeed be done.
Then I wish to revise the plan. Instead of assisting the Confederacy in securing the Enclave, I would have the Khagan advance upstream beneath the water and breach a segment of the outer wall. I mean to flood Doma Castle.
What? Everyone, like, excuse me?
My lord, the castle is a sacred symbol, the very heart of our nation. To destroy it is unthinkable, unconscionable. You cannot do this.
Yo, Schnitzel! What's up?
I can and I will if it improves our chances. By flooding the castle, we remove the better part of their forces from the field and force Yotsuyu to retreat to the highest levels of the keep. Tell me that is not a worthwhile trade.
But my lord, that castle was entrusted to you by your father and his father before him. I say to you again, it is the heart of our nation.
It's like this. That was the one thing that your dad gave you, left for you, you dork. Please don't destroy your dad's legacy.
Stone walls do not a nation make, my friend. Her people do. And as long as we yet live, we can rebuild. So let us only think of this battle, of victory here and now. For without that, we have no future.
I see that you are resolved, Lord Hien, and I would not presume to gainsay your decision.
I will inform the Elder of your revised stratagem and instruct our sappers to make ready.
I love Alex. We are planning to destroy it, Gosetsu. Just give it some water damage. You know, we'll have to get some blow dryers on it later. It'll be fine.
Our preparations are all but complete. Once we receive word from our Khagan allies, we shall set our plans in motion. We shall fight, and we shall prevail.
Heck yeah! Speak with your comrades. No plan is perfect, and there is ever room for improvement. I expect my comrades will be refining their approach until the moment they begin. In case you are unaware, the other Jonin will lead the assault on the moon gates, not I. My place is at Lord Hien's side. Aww. If there's nothing else, I'll head back to Namai. Suranuki's working hard, and Issei is doing what he can to help, but maybe there's more that I can do too. He was like a different person when he began hammering those plates. Younger, brighter, full of life and hope, but not hair. Ah, get him! Gosetsu! Does Uprising come up to, under Act of Gods on our insurance? These are the questions we should be asking, Ian. I can just imagine. Well, I mean, really, the gods told us to, therefore, Act of God. The plan is set, and all that can be done has been done. Rest and relaxation are now paramount, for tomorrow we may die. Have you not done enough? Will you not pause a moment to gather yourself on the eve of our grand design? Go not unto battle with weary eyes or lingering regrets, my friend. Indeed. I remember this part. This is such a good, like, before the final battle, like, scene. I love it. Sotoban informed me that his sappers will be ready within the day, which means we can proceed as planned and attack Doma Castle tomorrow. Considering the key role you will play, I think it only prudent that you refrain from further labors and rest until tomorrow. Agreed? Far be it from me to refuse. We shall speak again in the morning.
Take care, my friend. Yeah. Got him. Especially, we got to get the mole in on this. The mole need to tell us when God is telling us to, when the gods are telling us to murder everything. There you go. Then it can be like, oh, the gods just said it was act of gods. We're just the vessel.
You're awake. I was just, well, they threw me out, actually. Told me I needed to get some sleep. Ready for the big day. Not long now, eh?
Yeah.
I'm nervous, of course, but I also feel like I didn't know where I was going, but maybe, finally, something's gonna change, you know? Really, really change. And when the dust has settled, we'll see what we've won, and what we've lost. I'm going to give it my all tomorrow. Everything I've seen and felt, I won't let it be for nothing.
Me neither. Mm-hmm.
Right, off to bed. Don't want to overdo it, and neither should you. Oh, but before you sleep, you should look in on Elfino and Alize. Quietly, of course.
I love this. Hmm? Just go! It's adorable! Elise is just like, it's super cute, just go! Huh? Look at those cuties!
Ha! Another restless soul. Come, come. Raise a glass to freedom.
Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away. Until we get murdered by the Empire, then we'll all be dead. It'll suck.
Good. Good. I should be interested to know her thoughts on the matter.
Elvie, he and shush! Don't you see they're being cute over there? You're gonna wake them up! What thoughts? Wait.
Now, that's enough, Gosetsu. You'll not convince anyone with your drunken ramblings.
Well, what, are you guys honestly drunk before battle? Gods!
We've talked about this, all of us. We are flooding the castle tomorrow, and that's the end of it.
I know. I accepted your decision, and I do not intend to go back on my word. Nevertheless, as the battle draws near, I cannot help but recall our many travails, and it fair compels me to speak. In all my time serving as a leader of men, there are two failures which haunt me to this day. The first, a defeat at the hands of the Empire 25 years past, and the subsequent imprisonment of your father. Long did I consider offering up my life in atonement, until Lord Khagan allowed at last to receive visitors called for me, of all people, for my unborn child, he said. For my dearest Shun. Live.
There it is, for Shun. Oh.
My second failure, of course, was the betrayal of that self-same command. When in the rebellion I failed to protect not only Lord Khagan, but Lord Hien too. That I yet live, having known such disgrace, is an affront to the Kami themselves.
No, Gosetsu.
Yet you, all of you, saw fit to grant this shameful creature, this failure, another chance. To serve a greater purpose. Thank you for pitying an old fool.
Oh, don't make me cry, Kusetsu!
Now, it is far too soon for that. Save your tears for the morrow. You may be sure we will have ample cause to shed them, be they for joy or despair. Even that sounds morose. We who yet walk the path should not think too much on the destination. When the hour arrives, we shall welcome what comes with open arms. He is right about one thing, though. We have you and yours to thank for this chance. All debts will be repaid. On that you have my word. But first we must live past tomorrow, no?
Definitely.
If you've no intention of sleeping, Yugiri, you may as well join us.
Yugiri! Listening to everything. Being his shadow.
Forgive me, my lord. I did not mean to... if that is your will.
Oh, it's such a good scene. I love it. And Alteron does bring up a point. When you are at least tipsy or drunk, you don't feel pain as much. Temple tap. Your inhibitions are lowered. You can just go crazy. Although if you're a finely experienced warrior, your experience will be lost and you'll become it'll be like a drunken bar fight. But if you're a peasant who doesn't know how to use a weapon, that's probably not a bad idea. There she is. I trust you are none the worse for wear after last night. We received confirmation from the Koji not long ago. The sappers stand at the ready and await our signal. Let us not keep them and the others waiting. Gather your things, we depart at once. Let's do this! Alphino, instruct Lise and the others to move into position and launch their attack. Our scouts report no change in the Imperial's disposition, but I would leave nothing to chance. We must act quickly, lest we lose the element of surprise. Understood. I will relay your orders to her and rejoin my unit. Gosetsu and Yugiri await the two of you at Monsen. Good luck, my friends. I will see you both again soon. Here we go. Wait in Monsen for the operation to begin. Yugiri thinking she's stealthy. She's doing her best, okay? It's just that Hien is, pretty good about that. Get ready, friends! It's time! In fact, while we're waiting for me to fly over to that area, if Alex wants, Galjin can join us unless you're busy. That's also fine. Well, I am going to be yeah. Yeah, Alex! Well, you got the opening cutscene anyway. And now we wait. I have dreamed of this day. A chance for freedom, for liberation, for redemption, after 25 years of regret. Lise will contact us once the attack has begun, after which the others will carry out their allotted tasks. Our part comes last. Well, here we go.
Understood. Wish us luck. Right. You all know what you have to do. Are you ready?
Good job they made a break in us.
Aww.
Then what are you waiting for? Move out!
Why must we waste our time guarding this blasted...
This is why you must waste your time guarding this blasted. Yeah! Get him!
Sound the alarm! Fluminous is under attack! Armed insurgents have breached the perimeter! We need reinforcements!
Get him! Yeah! Go, Elise!
This is Lee's. Imperial forces converging on our position. Looks like we've got their attention. We'll be sure to keep them busy for as long as we can.
Alteron freedom!
Everyone's in position.
Thayol, here they come! Yeah, Xaela!
Ah, war. To wield power, to make men kneel before you. There is no better feeling. A pity I must share this pleasure with a feral dog of a Dothar.
Preening, Oreneer. You fear that she will put the sun in shade. Those are for you. Go, claim your prey.
Yeah, Alex, just those two. Yeah, I mean, either kill each other or kiss. I mean, come on. Just get it over with. Yeah! The old just dodging bullets like it ain't no thing.
Come to me! Come to your death! With each that falls, my soul soars higher!
Yeah!
Swiftly, brothers! Fall not behind! Make an offering of their steel to Father Azim!
Yeah! Get him! I love how the mole don't even appear. It's just...
They seem to be enjoying themselves.
The eagles are here! Alteron cries. The eagles are here!
My lord, the barrier!
Yeah! Alphino did it!
That it should fall so soon. Truly, our allies seem determined to surpass each other.
The Magitech field is down. I repeat, the Magitech field is down. Confederate vessels, you are clear to advance upon the Enclave.
There they come! Yeah! Okay.
The wall is breached. The Khagan 2 will not be outdone.
Heck yeah!
Our allies have set the stage. Now we must take the castle.
Yes!
With me.
Let's do this! Meanwhile, Yotsuyu.
My lady, the riverside wall has been breached. The lower levels are already flooded and the water is still rising.
So I gathered. He would tear the whole thing down, all for the promise of freedom. A noble sacrifice, or the last desperate flailings of a fool. Speaking of which, how fares my brood?
What oh, what's his name? Gosh, Grinwat. Grinwat.
The procedure was carried out as instructed by Lord Owless. By all indications, it was a success.
Why is this guy trembling? What'd you do to Grinwat? What'd you do to my son?
Is that so? Then he may yet be of some use. Devotees of vengeance should rightly pursue their cause unto the bitter end, don't you think? Their hearts aflame with passion until the last few embers fizzle and fade, leaving naught but ash.
No, what did you do to Grinwat? Was it like all of his name days have come at once?
The Viceroy's orders were clear. If Doma falls, none shall be spared his wrath. Tell the men to fight as if their lives depend on it. Because they do.
I love Yotsuyu's hair just flying up.
As you command, my lady.
Also, I love how everyone immediately, the moment Grinwat is brought up, name days, name days, name days, name days. Grinwat's retirement party.
Again they come to make you kneel, to make you grovel and suffer. But you have endured their worst and survived. You know their tricks. They will not find a flower simply waiting to be plucked.
Oh, jeez. I hope Grinwat's retirement party went well. I'm sure it was fine. There we go. Oh. I was ready to run off to start the thing, and then it was like, no way. There can be no doubt. The Viceroy is trapped, and so comes our part. Our Khagan allies will deliver us to our destination. To the Western Dock, and do not forget to bring your fellow adventurers, Calosa. Don't worry, already on it. Oh boy, it's gonna be so much fun. It's been so long, I'm so happy! Oh hey, this is one of the achievement fates. Yeah. Curiosity killed the catfish. Instead of leaving the giant contraption alone, several Namazu who stumbled upon an abandoned automaton of unknown origin felt compelled to poke it with sticks, ultimately awakening the metal beast, now compelled to vaporize everything that moves. Rip. Gosh, it's been a while since I played, Oh, that sounds nice, Galjin. It's been a while since I, played Ninja, so hopefully I'll do okay, question mark. To see the castle dust defaced, and by our own hands, it is enough to make me smile, to laugh at the sheer absurdity of it. It is not the end. It is not the end, but it is an ending. Soon I will be free. When I led the Doman refugees to Eosia, I did so only with the intention of seeking sanctuary. The thought of enlisting you and yours to aid us in another rebellion did not even cross my mind.
Yet here we stand, shoulder to shoulder, ready to strike at the heart of the occupation. It has been and ever will be an honor, Calosa. I can only imagine the chaos inside the castle. To be trapped by the rising waters and knowing the enemy is at their gates. They will fight us with every ounce of their strength, and as will we them, for the eyes of history are upon us. Everyone get a good look, because this ass won't be the same in a couple of weeks. That's true. Calosa, we might improve our odds of success. We will divide into two parties upon arrival. One compromising you and your adventurer comrades, the other Gosetsu, Yugiri, and myself. Each will enter the keep via a separate route, dispatching any Imperial forces that attempt to bar their path. Even should one meet with misfortune, the other will reach Yotsuyu. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Then let us be about it. For Doma! Doma Castle, now accessible. The wind was not the beginning. There are no beginnings or endings with the Wheel of Time, but it was a beginning. Hey Mishu, thanks for visiting. You get to see the very beginning of a thing and then it'll be done. I will 100% make sure skip playback. Okay, good. Shoot. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. To win a war, one must be willing to do whatever is required, even if it means sacrificing the very thing one set out to reclaim. And thus did Lord Hien declare that Doma Castle should be flooded, to eliminate the greater portion of the Imperial garrison to trap Yotsuyu within the keep. Your allies have set the stage, and now you must play your part, as well as the wandering adventurers whom you have recruited to fight for Doma's liberation. The fate of a nation shall be decided this day. Marshal your forces and venture unto the flooded fortress. Here we go! Yeah, it's okay. Thanks for saying hi anyway, Mishu. We love you! Mwah! XOXO. Yeah! Let's do this. Yeah, LV, get him! Let's go! This guy hits hard, so be careful. Oh, ow. Sorry. Oh.
Oops, sorry. Oh no, I messed up, rabbit. Oh, Aqua! Let's go! Yeah! This one is, there's going to be a lot of the line attacks. This one's a line attack central fight. Woo! Yeah, see, just line attack. That's about it. There we go. Oh, you know what I've been missing? Sorry. What's the point if I'm not using my nation? Time to kill them. Albie just waiting patiently. Sorry. going. I got the treasure. There we go. I'm good, don't worry. Game, easy life. Good job, both of you. Wow, nice work, both of you. Look at how much you guys have improved. Oh, I love it. Ninja is pretty. Ninja feels slick, but I mean, it looks slick, but then it's not. It's a lot more difficult than you think. Oh, jeez. Anyway, this one separates us. It'll separate us and have us move into, yeah, different quadrants like this. If you break the tether, it'll explode. So, careful of that. Yeah, LV! Easy game, easy life. Thank you. Oh no! They say they're Domans, but they're really imperial. Sure, that's an ability that you can learn as a blue mage. There are other ways to get it, but that's one of them. LBJ obtains 6 high-quality tiger skins. What? Eorzean! Eorzean! Come out and play! Dearest of all my enemies, I have a new toy to show you! Grin what? What? Hien! Go on ahead. I'll handle this. He doesn't even care. All he cares about is stopping me. Yeah. Honestly, I feel so sorry. Poor Grinwat. He doesn't deserve this. Oh no, it's Beyblade time! Let her rip!
Die, die, die!
There we go.
We go together!
Yeah, let her rip. We go together. Not even a nya. too serious for happiness. Goodbye, Grinwat. Goodbye. I like this Doga of healing, by the way. It looks really good. Whoa, look at how cool in Yanshen and Doman it looks. It's so cool. Bye bye, Dogi. I wore that for a long while. Yeah, LV! See you, Doom Garlean. See you again, Space Cowboy. Except not again, because he's dead. Not even a single rescue. Come on, man. Come on, LV. Get your healing shit together. Oh! Hien! You did it!
Have you aught to say for yourself? For what you have done to our people? Your people?
My people, he says. The precious lordling beloved by all come to confront the wicked witch.
Of the West.
My parents thought me no better. They woke me from dawn to dusk like an ox or an ass or some other beast of burden. Until, that is, my brother spied a chance to transform the family fortunes. And so I was married to a vicious old drunk, who beat me as he pleased. And when I pleaded for help, I was told to grin and bear it. For the family, for him, for everyone's sake. They pretended not to notice, but they knew. They knew. What did it matter? I was nothing to them. Less than nothing. I wasn't of their flesh. I wasn't a fellow Doman. I wasn't even a person. I might just as well have been dead. And then my husband passed away one day. And so I was sold off yet again to pay his debts. But this time, I found a way to live for myself. To survive. As a spy for the Empire.
I wonder how her husband passed away. He just happened to pass away. Was it that there was any arsenic in the porridge that day?
Oh, those were the days when the scales first fell from my eyes. No longer would I be a slave to my parents or my husband or the pleasure house. I would be free and receive due compensation. That would be enough, I thought. Until I saw a Doman in the road, beaten and broken. And my heart skipped a beat. Lying at my feet, groaning in agony, sobbing in despair. Powerless, helpless, hopeless. A vision forever seared into my soul. Oh.
Did you just, lady?
There was nothing I would not do to feel that joy again. To bend this cruel, twisted world to my whims. Now, having borne witness to my life's work, have you aught to say to me?
Cool motive, still murder. Oh, what the? Oh no, this is a load-bearing boss.
'Twas kind of you to lend me your ear, my lord. But now it is time for us to conclude our little tete-a-tete with a final game of chance.
Alex is saying, your heart skipped a beat? Arrhythmia is a concerning condition. You should probably see a chirurgeon, Miss Yotsuya.
Who shall stand, and who shall fall? Let the die be cast.
Oh crap, we gotta get out of here!
This was her plan from the first, to bring the keep down on our heads.
The gun! Whoa! He got it in half! Hien!
I will remember your words. We must flee. Order our forces to withdraw.
Oh crap! It's too late! Hien! What the... Gosetsu!
Go, my lord! While you still can! I cannot hold it forever!
But... What about...
No! We will not leave you behind!
Do your duty! Deliver Lord Hien and the others to safety! Now! Forthwith! I shall manage on my own!
But how? What in the... Don't sue you. Pulls the gun. No more bullets. You!
No. No one leaves. Not you or anyone else.
Gosetsu.
Tis naught this old frame cannot bear. Go now, all of you! The day is won, and the morrow beckons.
What? No. Memories of all of his regrets. This isn't over. We'll see each other again.
Do not despair, my friend. Never before have I felt so alive. My eyes unclouded, my purpose clear. This is right.
No.
Gosetsu. You never failed us. Not once. You served my father faithfully, and I'm a better man for your guidance. And the Doma we build together shall be better for it too. Be proud, my friend. Be proud.
I am, Shun. More than you know.
Hien! Hien!
Is that Serena? Goodbye. Gosetsu. Everything came to
You cast the die. Gambling was never my vice.
This was another part where I cried
How
like a
merciful
baby.
the gods that I should find you in time.
Sorry, Sarah and I talked over you, but yeah, that was one of the parts that I cried like a baby at. Ah, Gosetsu!
How merciful the gods that I should find you in time. Gosetsu's bird.
Gosetsu? We must turn back now before it is too late.
His bird didn't come. He doesn't have his master anymore.
There it goes. That part where it just crumbles.
Eyes forward, Cyrano. That was his wish.
That was his wish. No tears.
I will deliver you to safety. The others are waiting.
The die is cast.
What happened in there? Where is Gosetsu? Tell me it was not for nothing.
Victory is ours, is it not? Then why are you all so quiet?
Oh, Sarah, no, look at her! He was right. The day is won. The people must know.
Oh, Hien. We were like, oh, well, it's fine. We'll just flood the palace a bit. We can air it out later. I see. Alphino is at a loss for words. The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. Hey, did you know that the writers for Stormblood watched Hamilton?
Thank you. The occupation is ended then, and the people must be informed of our victory.
But I will not simply give up Gosetsu for lost. Before all else, we must needs to search the ruins. Allow me, my friends. The castle is still collapsing into the river and could easily drag you to your deaths. I can navigate the waters easily, without fear of drowning.
Be reasonable, brother. You know he is right.
Mm-hmm.
Hien.
Oh, he's trying to cheer Serena up. Alteron is too. Alteron is pet Serena. Yeah, but we got fleshy bodies. He has his little shell. So even if something fell, he wouldn't be like trapped and killed. We'd just get ourselves crushed and die.
Calosa, a word, if I may. My lord withdraws into himself, unable to turn his thoughts from the keep. He needs us now, more than ever.
My friends, I am returned. I swam as far into the ruins as I could.
Soroban! And, did you find him?
Nay, lady. Naught remained of the keep for me to search. Undermined from below and shaken from above, the manner of its collapse was most unusual. If the floor beneath him gave way before the rest, it is not impossible that he could have been sent tumbling into the river. But the water is thick with silt and debris. Despite my best efforts, I could not find him. I am sorry.
What? We don't even have a body to bury?
There is naught for which you should apologize. Thank you, Soroban, for taking it upon yourself to search. The castle is in ruins, and the people are eager to learn the fate of their nation. We leave at once. Are you sure, my lord? No. The day is won and the motto beckons. It falls to us to greet it.
Lise? I'm going down to the docks to see if I can't get one of the Confederate ships to take us to the Enclave. Mayhap we should tell the others at the House of the Fierce to gather there. Mm-hmm. Magnai and Sadhu know not of what happened at the castle. I will go and tell them.
They fought valiantly and with honor, Serena. I pray you tell them that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You too, my friend, were instrumental in this triumph. I must insist that you be present when we bring these tidings to my people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Speak with Tansui. It seems Tansui was on his way as soon as he saw you flee the keep.
You've never actually been to the Enclave, have you? It was a lively place, before Xenos sent his troops.
Speaking of Dust Bunny, take a break. What do we got today?
Gooboo sprouting! Yeah! Gooby, 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 gooby!
Anyway, Tansui, what's up?
You all look like shite. Captain thought you might need to arrive to the Enclave. Ready to come aboard?
Let's go.
Off you go then, sit wherever you like. I don't know what happened in there, but it's over. You won. That's cause enough for celebration, and with the people you're about to see need something to celebrate.
Oh jeez, it looks like shite.
We brought everyone here. You were the last to arrive.
Yay, the Confederate leader, Rasho.
I see. Thank you. We owe the Confederacy a great debt.
I have waited 25 years for this moment. You owe us naught.
Look! It's Lord Hien!
Formidable
farmer. It's him! He lives! He lives!
Oh, even Issei bows.
Some few words of encouragement would not go amiss, my lord.
The first time he's tried.
Right. Yes, of course.
Oh, jeez. Look at this dork! I love him.
You're their lord, remember? Stand tall!
Forgive me. This is rather more daunting than I had anticipated. But you are right. I must be strong. Wish me luck.
Good luck!
Adorable little dork.
Oh, the Enclave.
We are a sorry lot, are we not? Tired, dirty, stinking of blood and sweat and ash. A people pushed to the point of breaking,
We were saying, Hien, go say something. Alteron, go team, go team, go, go, go. Now, Hien, do better. Line. Be nice. It's his first time.
And yet, we won.
We won!
The perseverance to endure decades of oppression. The will to carry on the legacy of those we have lost. These were the bonds that held us together and gave us the strength to reclaim our home. After 25 hard years, the shadow of the Empire no longer darkens these lands, and we may at last look forward to the dawning of a new day. But, my friends, it will be a day of work.
Can they do it?
So I ask you, have you yet the strength to stand?
No, kid.
To rise up with me once more? Here and now? And begin to rebuild our homeland?
Doma! Doma!
You Giddy. Go to your people.
This will not end with Doma. We will see to that, right, Lise?
We're heading back to Alamigo. We're helping them.
Right.
There was the guy in the crowd going, Doma, Doma, go, go, go. Alteron, see, that guy gets it. He knows. He got it.
Indeed, this is but the beginning. The tide is turning, and it shall soon bear us back across the seas and onward and to the next battlefield.
Heck yeah! Hien getting all embarrassed at all the attention. How to talk to people. He is going to be so confused when people want to start making out with him. And like all the people are like, Hien, you gotta get married. And he's like, no. How to, girl, help. Yeah, Lise, little Alamigo. No, not Lise. Alamigo is next. You're right, Aqua. It's gonna be awesome. Next step, bombs at Alamigo. I'm sure I have some more bombs. Let's get Nashu in on this. Yeah, we need some more bombs from Nashu. There he is. Serena!
Oh, Hien is not with you? No matter. The sun and moon were not fated to share the same sky.
Serena, are you... Serena? Huh? I mean, you gotta tell him. You gotta tell him, girl. You gotta tell him. Oh my gosh, these dorks don't understand how to just get her done. You will not be staying in the Enclave. Nope. We got places to be, don't we?
We journeyed here from the opposite side of the world, but until now it didn't seem half as far.
I think that means our work here is done.
I'm glad we could be a part of it. That we could see with our own eyes that things can change if people have the courage to stand up and fight. Are you quite certain you would not prefer to stay a while longer? There are sure to be festivities, at which you would be a guest of honor, like as not. No, I'm ready. Very well. There are other ways in which we might celebrate. By rejoining the fight for freedom in Girabania, for one. Short though our time here has been, we have come to regard this land and her people as our own, I think. For we have done that which we came here to do. Word of Doma's liberation will soon spread throughout the Empire, and we must seize this opportunity to rekindle the fires of liberation in the West. Let's do this. We dare not allow the Imperials a moment's respite lest they march on Doma again. For the sake of all that is concerned, we must leave immediately. Oh, Serena. Did I hear you right? You are leaving? I'm afraid so. We've got our own battle to fight. What about you? Will you be heading back to the Steppe? Yes. The war here is ended, and there's no cause to remain. The Oranir and Dothorl have already withdrawn. I will follow them anon, but I wish to bid you farewell first.
The Blue, too, must remain in their homes, but we will be back. Doma has need of merchants and builders, and we are eager to offer our services. And just like that, our grand fellowship is broken. Without ceremony or pomp, you steal off into the dark.
Tansui!
No matter. We have plenty to be getting on with. Places to be, people to rob, and so on. And the captain never was one for mingling. I am a pirate. Give me a song at the tavern and I'll be happy. Hobnobbing with Lord Hien? Nay. No taste for the finer things. In any event, we need not part ways here. If you are for Khagan, we would be happy to take you. The waters have always been fruitful.
I wish you well on your journey, my friends. May you ever walk in crimson.
No time to party, Aqua says. More Imperial butts to kick. Alex, parties and having to rub elbows and act like a praised hero? Sounds like no fun. I just want to punch someone. Alteron, makes you realize the only reason the mole elder let Hien stay with them is because she saw that her granddaughter was smitten with him. Aww, adorable!
Thank you, Serena, for everything.
May the Kami speed you on your way, until we meet again.
See you around.
Too cute. Well, let's do it. Naught remains undone. You are ready to depart. We're ready. To Khagan, then. Eee. Thanks for the instant teleportation. For the free teleportation.
In a way, this too feels like a homecoming. How long has it been since Carvalane brought us here?
Wow, it has been a while.
It's just as colorful as I remember. I can still hear his voice. My ears haven't stopped ringing since he first barged his way into the Rising Stones. A veritable force of nature. Oh, don't make me cry. Gosetsu.
It's a rare thing for us to sail into Khagan like common traders. Don't rightly recall the last time, but it will have been years. Have everything? Good. We need to weigh anchor before the Sekisei-gumi arrive. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you did. Give my regards to the Uldan.
Yeah, we will. Look at their cute little boat.
Swift and secret departure.
I informed Tataru of our coming. She and Hancock should be waiting for us at the Ruby Bazaar. Then I suppose we part ways. Best of luck to you in your piratical endeavors, I suppose.
See you around. Reminds me of DBZ, where Goku just remembered he could do instant transmission. Alex is reminded of the time when when Gosetsu passed out starving in front of Urianger. Yep. Aww. That was when we first heard his loud, booming voice. Gosetsu. Not fair. Please, it's Yuri anger. It's anger at Yuri? Oh my goodness, what is he? What is he, a homophobe? He got angry at Yuri? It's a joke! Anyway.
Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations on a job well done.
It is a pleasure as ever to see your smiling face, Tataru. Less so yours, Hancock, though Rasho and I are sincerely grateful for your assistance. Pleasure was all mine, Master Alphino, I assure you.
Anyway, you will be glad to hear I have already chartered passage for you back to Limsa. The ship is to leave port this very day, but the captain has agreed to wait until the 4 of you have boarded.
The 4 of us? You mean to stay here in Khagan?
Yes, I gave it some thought, and I realized that even with Doma free, there's still a need for a woman in the middle. Maybe even more than before, considering all the friends and alliances you've made.
As I told you many times before, I would be more than willing to assist you.
And I told you many times before, I am not about to let you worm your way into our affairs and exploit our connections for your personal gain.
Must you always presume the worst?
So there you have it. I will remain here for now. You needn't worry. I'm a regular at the hostelry and a half-dozen other local institutions. Everyone loves me.
Everyone does love you, Tataru. You're adorable.
So go! Don't let me keep you. Buy your supplies and souvenirs while you still can. Once you've finished, make haste to the docks. Pier number 2 to be precise. I'll be waiting for you there.
You tried, but I make the jokes here. Ah, it's true. I'm so bad at jokes. Personally, I would have preferred you to host you for a few days, but Tataru was adamant that you return on the first available ship. One can almost suspect she is eager to be rid of you. Idle musings, not more. Purely hypothetical and most assuredly incorrect. She wants only the best for her dear friends and is surely not motivated by hidden desires to go gallivanting about with her Khagan paramours. Ah! Excuse me, what? She has paramours here? What?
I cannot deny that the thought of leaving her here alone worries me, but she has proven time and again that she is far more clever than she appears. Besides, I do not think I could persuade her to change her mind. Mayhap I should take her advice and purchase a souvenir or two before leaving.
Get it, Tataru! Woo! Nice! Elfie knows. Woo! Nice! Good job, Tataru. Where was it again? The Shiokaze. Aqua. Oh my! Tataru. I'm gonna miss you, sweetie pie.
First to arrive, as always. Hopefully the others will not be far behind.
We're talking to each other.
Ah, there you are. All packed and ready to go?
To the best of my knowledge, yes. Apologies for the wait. The task of tying up loose ends invariably takes longer than one allows. Happily, however, all now seems to be in order.
Then there's nothing left to do but to board the ship. Do try and enjoy the journey, won't you? It may be your last chance to rest for a while.
Yeah.
That would depend on the good captain's choice of route.
As ever, Tataru, I pray you take all due precautions while making your inquiries. Better to avoid the local authorities altogether than risk a repeat of our Ishgardian episode.
Oof.
And what sordid episode is this, pray tell?
Did you get arrested, Alphino? Oh my gosh, my little brother is a what do you call it? A rebel?
Not to speak of, I assure you.
Oh, 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 oh.
You there! Hold that ship!
Huh? I recognize it's Hien!
What are you two doing here? Shouldn't you be in Doma?
Shouldn't you? You left with nary a word. I half wondered if I had done something to offend.
Oh, because Tataru is have many paramours, Aqua says. Meanwhile, at the ironworks, Wedge feels sudden pain in his chest. Oh no! Wedge! I feel that, Alfie. I spent like 2.5 months trying to talk to everyone I knew before moving out here, and I still miss like a couple dozen people. Sorry, Alex, that sucks. It takes longer to handle what you need to do before leaving than you expect. It's true.
Upon learning that you had departed for Khagan, we immediately resolved to give chase. Our comrades can manage affairs in our absence, and it seemed the least we could do.
You mean you came all this way just to say goodbye?
Yeah.
That too, aye. But there was something else I felt I had to say.
I remember my dad was like, oh, is he gonna join us? Is he gonna join us? He was so excited. He was like, oh boy, he's gonna join us. He's not gonna join us, spoiler.
You helped us win our freedom, and for that I cannot thank you enough. Accordingly, after we have established an interim government and so forth, I think it only meet that we repay the favor by dispatching our own forces to Eorzea. If you would have us.
What? What forces? Like Hien? Also, Mike, oh right. We were talking about Tataru and the love triangle and stuff. Oh, you watch Garly and High too? Oh my god, wait a minute. Charlotte Moon, you predicted the manga. What? I did. Oh my gosh, it really was. But to be fair, Garly and High and Eorzea University are completely different.
We harbored no expectations of such generous aid, and as there is no telling when the Empire might strike back at you, would it not be wiser to concentrate your resources on the defense of Doma?
I had a mind to pursue a more aggressive defense, to which we will send forth shinobi to provinces far and wide to spread word of our victory, that we might inspire others to take up arms as we did. Even the Empire has its limits. If the Garleans cannot be certain where and when the next rebellion will take place, how can they commit another force to Doma?
Hey, they're going to be too busy focusing on other places to try and quell Doma.
And besides, so long as this debt remains unpaid, how am I to face myself? And Gorsetzer?
No.
As you wish. I will relay your offer to the Eorzean Alliance.
All of Doma is counting on you to finish what we have started.
Yeah.
To have it in you, Lise. To seize the future you want. Never forget.
Yes! I'm so happy. People are always like, Lisa has nothing to do with Stormblood. She basically shouldn't even be here. And it's like, do you not see all the parts about her feeling like she doesn't deserve to be a leader, and then feeling that she realizes that she's a leader? Shut up, all you people.
I won't, Hien. Not your words or anything else. Everything that led us here, that will drive us forward, I'll carry it with me always. And that's a promise.
Yeah!
I will hold you to that. Go with them to Eorzea. Tell their people of our triumph and of our pledge to stand with them.
Yeah! You get it!
By your leave, I shall pave the way for our new alliance.
The ship's about to weigh anchor.
Lisa and Hien are great foils. Alex agrees. Yeah, methodical honor versus chaotic honor. I mean, really, that's basically it. It's great.
It seems our time is at an end. Go well, my friends, and may we meet again beneath a western sky.
Everyone drink water. My water bottle's almost empty. I have indeed been drinking water. And it's almost time to finish. Thank goodness. That took a lot longer than I was expecting. Goodbye, Hien. Goodbye, Tataru. Meanwhile, in the royal palace of Alamigo.
I always knew that woman was unfit for command.
Aye, when you think of all the resources we've poured into that hole, and for what?
Oh, this is Yotsuyu. I thought we were talking about Fordola for a sec, but no, they're talking about Yotsuyu. Uh-oh, that's no good. Someone's dead. He's gonna shoot the messenger, isn't he? Yep!
The beast yet lives. Mayhap it is time I sharpen my claws. I wonder, will you walk into my parlor once more?
Fadolorem Lupus, come at the command of the Lord Viceroy to present the prisoner taken by the Cranie Lupi.
Wait, what? What prisoner? Cryo? Ah! Ah! No! Baby!
Xenosier Galvus, I presume. It's true what they say. You do have the eyes of a monster. A ravenous, insatiable fiend.
Cryo, you close your mouth and do not say anything that will make him want to cut you in half. Please, no. Everyone, no! Cryo! Cryo, no! We gotta save our tiny not Mikote! Everyone just instantly in horror. No, baby!
You, give the butcher your weapon.
Yes, my lord.
It's a gunblade.
My lord, this is...
A reward given in recognition of your service. I trust it will prove more capable than its former owner.
Ah, get him! That other guy is a loser.
I swear, I'll not disappoint you, my lord.
Good. Now, silence that mewling little piglet. I will not hear another sound pass her lips. Until I strip the fat from her.
Dad was like, wait, is he killing her now? Is she going to die? Is he killing her? Don't worry, he's not killing her yet. We still got some time. It's okay. Dad was so worried, though. He was like, if they kill Cryo. No, they're not going to kill Cryo, aren't they? They're not going to kill her. So worried. Don't worry. It's okay. She's fine. She's fine. We got to rescue her. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Oh god, this is the worst. What are we gonna do? And you know what? Actually, this is probably the perfect time to say, good job, everyone. We did it. We saved the day. I'm gonna talk to the people, though. I'm gonna talk with Alice and everyone. Let's do that. There we go. There we go. Let's talk to them, and then we'll say, good job. Good night. We did it.
It feels like a lifetime ago that we left for Khagan, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like, what? A few months ago because of the big part of not actually doing anything. Anyway.
Compared to Khagan's vivid colors, Limsa Lominsa seems a bit lacking. Still beautiful in its own way, but not as much as before. We should inform the Admiral of our arrival and brief her on that which took place in Doma before leaving the city.
Alright, we will do that the next time because it's nearly 3 hours. I honestly forgot that there were like 4 things you have to do before the dungeon, and I thought we were gonna get in, do the dungeon, and get over back to Garabania, but nope! That's fine though. Yeah, let's talk for a bit. Everyone's talking. Fordola's a terrible character. She doesn't add anything to the story. Sarcasm. Yeah, she's an absolute worst. Hey, don't diss my pirate pillars. I will constantly diss your pirate pillars, Alphino. Alphino is completely like, Alphino is just like, look at this terrible, look at this. It's just all black. It's just all brown. It's all brown. You could tell from Fordola's reaction there that she's got conflicting emotions. Oh, no, wait. Kryle's reaction that she's got conflicting emotions. She's so well written. Both Fordola and Kryle are so good. Everything is so good. This whole game, everyone's character is so good. Like, holy crap. Yeah, Fordola, yeah, she's got conflicting emotions. She's like, I got all this, but like, do I gotta keep killing people? It's kind of terrible. It's kind of bad to kill people, but you know, gotta do it. I reached the part in post game where blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's this whole thing is really good. Like, I cannot wait. This is why every time someone tries to say something about how Stormblood, they're like, well, okay, Stormblood wasn't the worst. It's just not as good as Heavensward. And it's like, I'd say they're about equal. A lot of people just are missing out on the fact, or just skipping the fact that, you know, there's been a lot of nuance to it that Heavensward didn't really have. I mean, having nuance and being simple are 2 different things, and both can be very good, but I think that a lot of people are missing the nuance of Stormblood and just assuming that Heavensward is better because it's easier to follow. Oh well. Yeah, Aqua and I, these people can fight me. I like Stormblood more than Heavensward, but I don't have an obsession with Ishgard. No, and so, like, that's also another part. You can like the story and not, like, you know, have to... And having different stories make it what you enjoy, depending on which story you enjoy, that's fine. I just think that a lot of people are missing it because they're not reading between the lines, because people don't know how to do proper, like, you know, what do you call it, critique. Hey, hello, this lady just hanging out with us, this cool lady. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. I love all of you so much for hanging. We're gonna do another one, and hey, next one is probably going to be a trial. So, the Aqua can join us next time. Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be great. All right, well, love you guys so much. I will see you Next time. Oh yeah, this person is DK. DK. Donkey Kong. DK. Donkey Kong is here. Alright. Alright. Thanks again. One more time. Thank you again so much for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.